Hey y'all, welcome to episode 4 of Rants and Randomness. I am Luvvie Ajayi, your side-eye sorceress and wacky wordsmith. Super excited for this because this is going to be a really good one. I'm here at Chicago Recording Company and working with Sav Media on this podcast. And this episode, my feel-good moment is about March of Our Lives. I'm going to be ranting about this incident I had about Diet Coke and spotlighting one of my favorite shows, Blackish, plus interviewing, are you ready? Jenifer Lewis, the iconic Jenifer Lewis. So this is going to be so good. Can't wait. But first, I have to say congrats to Myleik Teele. She was my second guest on this show. She's the CEO of Curlbox, and I was able to get her right before she started maternity leave. And I'm excited to say Myleik gave birth to her son, Noah James. And so I have to congratulate her, and I am excited that it went well and her and the baby are doing well. So if y'all haven't listened to my second episode, definitely go listen to that and show Myleik some love on social media. She is a new mom. So yeah, congrats, girl. All right, let's get on to the show. Yo, as you know, I always got to bring you a feel-good moment, and this episode's Feel Good is about March for Our Lives. The kids in Parkland, Florida have risen up and become the leaders of a new movement to really get us gun control, because every day we're seeing the impact that guns in the hands of the wrong people have. And when 17 students were killed in Parkland, the kids who survived the shooting were like, we got to do something. So in the last month, they've really used their voices to make this platform bigger than even them. And they coordinated March for Our Lives to bring attention to this issue on a global scale, really, and basically put together this massive march. And I am really inspired by young people who are realizing that they can definitely be the change they want to see in the world. One of them is Emma Gonzalez, and she's been one of the spokespeople for the Never Again movement. And her speech at the march, this girl stood in front of millions of people and paused, said nothing for 6 minutes. Do you know how hard that is? As somebody who does a lot of speaking engagements and knows how it is to be in a room as all eyes are on you, you want to fill that space with sound. But she decided to be silent to make the point that 6 minutes is what it took to take those 17 lives. So I was just like so impressed by these kids. And then there was Naomi Wadler, who was the 11-year-old Black girl who got up to talk about how she represents the Black girls and boys who never get on the front page of magazines and newspapers when they're shot down. 11. She's 11. I mean, 2 minutes and 45 second speech that was concise, poignant, and just perfect. I cannot wait for this generation to lead because they're ready. They're ready. And I know a lot of times we say we worry about the next generation. No, they're going to be okay. Because these kids are smarter than we ever were, more tuned into the world than we ever were, and they recognize their power. At 11, what was I doing at 11? Probably wondering what Barbie I didn't get that day. These kids are changing the world, and you can't help but be inspired by them. So they are my feel-good for this episode. So my rant this week. Y'all, I'd be trying to mind my own business and not be minding other people's business too. But anyway, I was at South by Southwest a couple of weeks ago in Austin, Texas. And I went to this dinner. Long story short, the dinner was an interesting experience. But the one piece that stood out was when the waiter, so I asked the waiter for a Coke. I said, I'd like a Coke, please. He said, okay. He brings me a Coke. I taste the Coke, and I'm like, this thing has an aftertaste. So I said, hey, I think this is Diet Coke. Y'all, this man said to me, oh, I assumed you wanted to watch your figure. Bruh. First, how many things are wrong with this statement in this situation? First of all, Add this to the super long list of things that never happened to dudes. Because why would you assume that I'd asked for a Coke, but I wanted a Diet Coke? If I wanted a Diet Coke, I would have put diet in front of Coke. Couple of things. One, I'm already small. Like, I'm like 115 pounds soaking wet with Tim's on. What figure do I need to be watching? I don't understand why you would even look at me and be like, yeah, you must be watching your figure. But then it made me realize, like, I'm already a petite woman. I can't imagine what women with more meat on their bones got to deal with from raggedy dudes who assume shit about their bodies. This dude said, I assumed you wanted to watch your figure. How is it your business? How is it community property, even if I was watching my figure? Now, the other piece about this, what if I was allergic to aspartame and fake sugars? Because that's a thing. Some people do not react well to fake sugar. And this dude dropped a glass of Diet Coke in front of me, not knowing what my medical history was, not knowing whether he was affecting something by giving me this thing that I did not ask for. Y'all, I was so mad, but I was too tired after a long day of South by Southwesting, like, because when you're there, you're doing 8 events every day, you're gallivanting around the city, you're peopling, so I had no energy left to let him have it. I said I wanted a Coke. So I posted it on social media to tell people, like, yo, check this thing out that just happened. I started getting stories back from women who were like, yo, this happens to me all the time. People saying, like, I would go to a restaurant with my boyfriend and ask for a Coke, and he'll ask for a Diet Coke, and when the waiter brings it, they'll switch it, assuming that it was the opposite. I've gotten that from women who were bigger women were like, yo, this happens to me all the time. People always trying to police what I'm taking in restaurants and suggesting what I should be eating or drinking. And I was just like, wow, this was the first time something like this had ever happened to me. And it was interesting because the guy even said it jokingly. And I'm just thinking to myself, how is this even appropriate on any level? You don't even know me. You don't even know how chill deficient I am. On that day, I had chill because I had no energy left. But, man, listen, I'm going to need people to stop acting like they really care about our bodies. 1. 2, I'm going to need folks to understand that we got this. We do not need your suggestions about what we need to take into our bodies. And also, Diet Coke tastes like disappointment and fake news. I'm not here for that. I want the real stuff, okay? Real stuff. So if you don't learn nothing else from this, 1, understand that I'm gonna need waiters to get their lives. Thankfully, it was at a dinner where I didn't have to tip because his tip would have been deficient. I'm gonna say that. But yeah, I was just like the unmitigated gall. You don't even know me from a can of paint, sir. How dare you? How dare you? Yeah, that pissed me off. All right, that's it. My randomness this week is how much I love the TV show Blackish. Y'all, I remember when Blackish was about to drop and people were mad about the name, which I never understood. Like, why is it Blackish? I'm like, because it's going to be talking about a black family, and I get it. Anyway, this show quickly became one of my favorite shows on television. I think it's actually the best comedy on television for sure, and in my top 5 favorite shows on right now. It's just really smart. The topics they cover, they cover everything that Black Americans talk about in our lives. Like, I remember them, just even regular Americans. I remember the episode, though, on police brutality and how tender the writing was, how thoughtful it was. And I remember the scene of all of them sitting on their couch watching another verdict being like, not guilty. That show and what Kenya Barris has created is so dope. Like, not just smart, but also really funny. Blackish is hysterical. Anthony Anderson's character and all the shenanigans he gets into, like, he's peak dad. And Rainbow, who was Tracy Ellis Ross's character, and the fact that nobody ever gives her respect when she's like, I'm a doctor, and they're like, yeah, whatever. But my favorite character, though, is Diane. Marseille Martin as Diane is everything. That character is essentially me. Like, she's full of side-eye. She don't trust nobody. She just be shading folks left and right. She's my favorite. Her and the grandma, played by the incomparable Jenifer Lewis, are any scene they're in, just know you're going to be cackling because those two characters are utterly ridiculous. And I am really excited because I actually get to talk to one of them. Ruby Johnson, a.k.a. Jenifer Lewis, is on the show. I just appreciate that show. The cast is gorgeous, okay? Yara Shahidi, okay? Hey, Miles Brown, he's so adorable. And of course, Tracee Ellis Ross. She's Tracee Ellis Ross. I love the show. I love the show. It's won every award, and it's deserved it. It's so smart. And I almost want to study the episode just to be like, okay, if I ever have a TV show, I need to make it really smart and really funny, just like Blackish. And now that they expanded it to Grownish with Yara's character, I'm just excited to see the Kenya Barris world expand. But yeah, Blackish is always worth watching. I usually binge watch it on Hulu because I don't get a chance to watch it live often on Wednesdays. And it's my treat to myself to sit there to catch up with what the Johnsons are up to. So yeah, check it out. Give a binge watch session. Watch 10 episodes, and before you know it, you'll watch 10 episodes without even blinking. So go ahead and get you a piece. So, hey y'all, I'm excited to have the incomparable, legendary, iconic Jenifer Lewis on Rants and Randomness. Before Jenifer wrote The Mother of Black Hollywood, she was already everyone's favorite auntie. She is the true giver of no dams, and she's made everybody fall in love with her. So to have her as a guest on my podcast is nothing short of a dream come true, because I've looked up to her for so long. So from one side-eye sorceress to the queen of shade, I bow to you, lady.
Did you say the queen of shade?
Queen of shade.
Oh, queen of shade. You know, you millennials wear me out with your jargon and
You love us, okay?
What?
We've learned so much from you.
Oh, you know, you say everybody loves me. There's a reason for that. I love everybody.
Yes. Yes.
I do. You know, I've always cared about people. And my way of caring was to entertain them and make them laugh. You know, rarely would I leave a room and not leave the people laughing one way or another, even if I had to cuss them out as I was leaving, you know, with a whole bunch of love inside of me. I just love making people laugh.
I just saw you a couple of weeks ago at the Power Rising Summit where you apologized to an elder woman in the room for cussing so much.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, honey, I was raised, you know, we were raised back then to respect the elders. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, I don't curse in front of children and I don't cuss in front of old people, but I'll cuss everybody else out.
Hey, I think that is valid. Okay. I was raised to also respect my elders. So that's why I'm
right.
Like,
oh, no, honey.
That's important.
Don't get it twisted, honey. They paved the way for us. You do not disrespect your elders in any form or fashion, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to give people your bio because I need people to understand how epic you really are. Jenifer Lewis is one of Hollywood's most familiar faces with more than 300 appearances in film and TV. Dubbed a national treasure by TVGuide.com, Jenifer currently stars on the Emmy-nominated hit show Blackish on ABC, where her hilarious portrayal of Ruby Johnson earned her a nomination for the 2018 Critics' Choice Award for Best Supporting Actress in a TV Comedy Series. Jenifer's new memoir, The Mother of Black Hollywood, is a critical favorite, and the audio version won an Airphones Award from AudioFile magazines. And Jenifer is a social media sensation and has garnered more than 100 million views with such viral hits as In These Streets with Brandy and Roz Ryan. First of all, I read your book in one sitting, 4 hours.
Oh, wow.
4 hours. I drank that book up. It was so good.
Oh, thank you, darling.
So good.
You know, I poured my heart and soul into it. I knew I was leaving my legacy. And I knew that I had lived a difficult, painful, triumphant, adventurous, and amazing life.
Yes.
I came through a lot of pain. I lived the spectrum from poverty to success. But I want to explain to people what I mean when I say success. It's not because I've done 68 movies, 392 episodic television.
Yes.
It's not because I've done 4 Broadway shows and toured in concert all over the world. Okay, that's great. But believe it or not, most of that was fun. I wasn't working. I'm one of the lucky ones that knew very early what I wanted to do, what my passion was. And please, y'all, find your passion.
Yes.
So that you'll have something to live for when things get really rough. Yeah, it's not because of all of that on this day I say that I was successful. I'm successful because I have a smile on my face. I walk in my joy. Yes. I did so much work on myself. I'm talking about, a spiritual search, which, of course, concluded with me discovering that every answer I wanted was inside of me.
Come on.
And also, I spent 17 years in therapy twice a week. See, bipolar disorder ain't no joke. I have a chemical imbalance in my brain. And ladies and gentlemen, that is nothing to be ashamed of.
Absolutely.
Our people are so, Lord Jesus, we are so taboo when it comes to mental illness because we still have that image of straitjacket and shock treatment.
Right.
Honey, listen. If you have a friend that you haven't heard from in 3 weeks and you know she at home, you better reach your hand out because something's wrong. Depression ain't no joke. Mania ain't no joke.
Yep.
But I will say this, and I mean this very sincerely. When you reach out to those people who are depressed and keep doing and have a pattern of causing chaos over and over and over again and that are negative, and you reach out to them, if they ain't ready, keep it moving.
That's a word.
Listen to me. Self-care is the most important thing. Now, how you going to take care of somebody else if you don't take care of yourself?
Correct.
How you going to love somebody else if you're not loving yourself?
Correct.
You got to love yourself. Look in the mirror. Y'all spend 2 hours in makeup.
Okay, getting the contours together.
Look your eyes into that mirror and say, I love myself. And stand there until you mean it. Do some work before you leave your house. Even if right before you leave out of the door, be conscious of letting love lead you through the day.
Yes.
And then you won't be so stressed in traffic. You won't be so stressed at work when that coworker does some dumb shit. So lead with love.
Yes.
Prepare yourself for a day. Honey, let me tell you something. It might be your last.
Ooh.
You see, live every day as if it were your last. See, now that's dramatic, but if you can just do half of that, think about how happy you will be. If you do things, people ask me, they say, Miss Lewis, how do I know, what my road is, what my purpose is, what my passion is? Sweetie, what makes you smile? What makes you laugh? What makes you feel good? What makes your molecular structure dance?
Hey.
That's what you ask yourself.
I really appreciate that you talk about therapy because, hey, me and my friends, we talk about therapy all the time. I started therapy last year.
Good girl.
Okay, I'm trying to be in therapy before I need to be in therapy. So,
and guess what? You ain't trying. You doing it.
I'm doing it. Look. Okay, what do you wish somebody told you or would have told you about therapy and the work that you would do in that space?
That it is not the therapist's job. It's yours.
Ooh, yes.
It's your job. You have to go in there and do the work. You write down what you want to deal with and what you feel your issues are before you go in there. Don't go in there all willy-nilly. thinking that, oh, it'll come. No, it won't. You do the homework. I always express. What am I looking for? Well, it's express. I reiterate over and over again. Do the homework. It doesn't matter what it is. If you got to do something before you go into work to make your job easier during a day, do that. If you're an entertainer, actress, prepare for the character. Prepare for your life. Do the homework. Read books about steps that other successful people have taken.
Yeah.
Read. Y'all all taking selfies all day and texting your friend what your man is doing or cussing your man out in the text and carrying on. And look, ain't nothing wrong with that. I was young once. We didn't have these cell phones, but we had the mail. See, we wrote letters. Sit down and write a letter. Half of y'all can't even write because you don't have to.
Listen, this is why I feel young old. I always tell people I'm young old because I still agree with writing, putting things down on paper.
Absolutely. Here's my biggest message besides take care of yourself. Pay attention. Pay attention to your body, your mind, your spirit. Are you eating healthy? What do you think your brain is doing when you put all that sugar in there? Come on, people, read a book.
You better drag me, Jenifer. Drag me.
I told the sisters, you can have fried chicken, but you can't have it every day, sister girl. You can't have fried chicken and a big old piece of pie every day. You have to give yourself a break. Juice once a week. Do anything but read a book. I'm not going to try to tell y'all what to do. I'm not a doctor. I can tell you what I do. I make sure that I eat healthy as I can. Now, I'm getting ready to do the book tour.
Yeah, it's rough. I've done it. It's rough.
All that food out there, a lot of it's not healthy, but I order up in room service or out in a restaurant the best I can. Leave that bread alone. Leave that stuff alone that you know is going in there and blocking up your arteries and making you gain all that weight.
Because you look good. This is the secret to your success.
Look, that's because I did the work. And guys, work is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
You write down at night what you're going to eat the next day. That's what I'm talking about, preparing. Lay out your clothes. Do things like that so you're not stressed and rushing. See, when you're in a hurry, you're rude.
You right.
You want everybody to get out of your way.
You right.
So here comes the stress. And then when the stress comes, here comes something on your body that you don't want on there. Ooh, that hurt. Well, I wonder why. Read a book. Go to the internet. Learn how to take care of yourself. Ask somebody. And another thing, ask questions.
Yes.
You want to ask, but here's another thing about that. Oh, God, I love myself. you know damn well when you ask a question, you already know, man.
Yeah.
Come on, kids. Don't blame nothing on nobody else. See, we always pointing the finger. I pointed the finger. You got to understand what I'm talking about. I have lived through. And I came out on the other side. But somebody held the torch at the end of the tunnel. We are not alone. You can't do shit by yourself.
Sure can't.
With good friends and stop all that gossiping and negativity. Surround yourself with good friends. When that con artist came into my life, it was a good friend. It was a good friend of mine that noticed my behavior was different. I mumbled something. She looked at me. She said, when did you start mumbling?
Right. That's not
because
you.
Because con artists like to keep you isolated so they can get what they want from you. And you're not talking to your friends. Oh, honey, the one that came into my life, his name is his name? I don't even want to know anymore. Tony Marriott.
Okay.
He was so masterful. Now, you know a master had to roll up in here to pull.
Was this recent?
Cover over my head. Was it what?
Was this recent?
Oh, no, this was, 2015. And that shit happened on the day my mother died.
Ooh.
I found out my boyfriend was a con artist.
What happened?
Oh, girl, you got to go online and read that shit. That's too much to go into.
Okay.
Go online. And that's another thing. I gave that to y'all. I didn't have to give my personal life to the millennials, but I did.
Yeah.
Because I want y'all to learn and pay attention. Look, honey, ain't no shame in my game. Okay, so I got hit really hard. And let me tell you, honey, I fell into the abyss. Oh, yes, honey, because my ego was huge. And somebody pulled, something over my head, and I got caught not paying attention. I got caught not paying attention to my instincts. I knew something was wrong, but I was so busy. I was busy getting an honorary doctorate degree. I was busy getting a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Black Film Festival. I wasn't paying no attention to the man. I figured God had sent to me. He told me so many lies. But he had gone to the internet and researched me, girl, and knew everything.
He knew all your teeth.
Oh, yes. No, girl, it's deep out here. You hear me? And the reason I got so mad for so long, and I wish I hadn't suffered so long with that, but I continued to work through it. That happened. But I will say this. Life is something else. If that shit hadn't happened, I wouldn't have written the book.
So that's what spurred you to write Mother of Black Hollywood?
Girl, let me tell you something. I wrote The Black Mother of Hollywood for you guys. He didn't have that much power, honey.
Amen.
But see,
Amen.
take this in, because I don't think I've told any journalist this. I've never put this into words. Now, of course, it's flown out of my head. But let me get it back, because it's very important.
Take your time.
Oh, yes, I remember. If I had not had the courage, the strength to come out with that personal tragedy, I would not have been able to put as much of the, I'm trying to find the words. I would not have been able to give you guys everything that I did. The molestation.
Yeah.
The abortion.
Yeah.
The knife to my throat. See, because I had the courage to tell the worst thing that had happened to me, that betrayal, I had the courage to give y'all that other stuff. Why not? You're free, Jenny. Because when I gave you the con artist, I was free from it. It didn't stop the pain. I suffered immensely over that. Yes, I did. But, honey, the bitch is back.
The bitch is back. Ma'am, you are life. You
is back. You hear me?
I hear you, girl.
It's going to take more than a fucking con artist to bring me down. You understand what I'm saying to you, girl?
Absolutely.
You better bring some other shit, because I am an alpha wolf.
Ooh.
Now, I may fall down, and I will fall. I have fallen. But I got up. I've given up in my life, but I didn't quit. You got to be in it to win it.
Honestly, that is what I took out of your book. You, no matter what has been thrown at you, thrown to you, you rise above it. You rise above it.
I got up, baby. Because you know what I found out? Let me tell you how hard I've worked. And let me tell you what came out of it. And this was one of the most eye-opening moments of my life. I believe what Oprah calls the aha moment. I was out in my garden. People don't know that I garden, but I do, and I love it. I'm proud of my garden.
Yeah.
And I was clipping some roses, girl, and I was feeling sorry for myself. And I was like, I'm giving up show business. F this and F that and mad, just mad. By the time I walked 4 feet to clean the geranium, I stood there and I said out loud, Jenny, you ain't quit nothing.
Mm-hmm. Sure lane.
And out of my mouth came these words. I love this too. Not even me can stop me.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, y'all take that and ride that carpet, baby.
Not even me
Not
can
even
stop
me
me.
can stop me.
Mm.
It's amazing. Because, see, if you do the work and build the foundation, this is another thing Oprah said. The deeper the pain, the higher the bounce.
Mm.
Ain't nobody ever died from feeling. Don't feel your feelings. Life hurts. But get up. Get up, baby. I don't know. I swear to God, I say this in the book. I wish I had a recipe for y'all.
Mm.
Ooh. Oh, I wish I had a recipe. I'd give it to you. But there is none. You got to walk your own walk, honey. You got to take your own road, climb your own mountain, build your own house. Because even if you laying next to somebody in that bed, you are still in your own soul.
Mm. I think that is the recipe. I am somebody who holds truth and authenticity in high regard. And people always ask me, and I say, I'm just somebody who just makes sure I am honest. And I think you
Yes.
have just been honest. You've been transparent. You've bared your soul. And people can't help but love that because you are not the rule. You are the exception.
Well, girl, I don't know how I did it, but I did it. And that's what I say to all of you. That little Nike slang, honey, just do it.
Yeah.
And little Yoda. I'll never forget when I saw Star Wars the first time, the first one. I'm talking about the first one.
Mm-hmm.
When Luke Skywalker is trying to get that ship up out the swamp. And Yoda said, go on, pull it up with your mind. You know, I'm paraphrasing. And Luke Skywalker said, I'm trying. Yoda said, don't try, little boy.
Just
do it.
Mm-hmm.
And he got that ship up out of that swamp. You can't, listen, here's a little poem I used to tell my daughter. Once a task has begun, never leave it until it is done. Be the labor, great or small, do it well or not at all.
Hmm.
You see, it's too, we procrastinate so much.
So much.
We lay in the bed. Thank God we have to get up and pee. You heard me say that is outside.
Yes, I did.
Girl, you got to get up to pee. And when you get up to pee, keep it moving. Don't get back in that bed. Don't lay there depressed and waste the day of your life. I did that so many times. Oh, I was so depressed. But you know, I just realized something walking around here in my bedroom. I might have been under the covers. Wow, this is interesting. I just came through this. Wow. But I never closed the curtain. I let the light in my room. I let the light in. I kept the light in my room. You gotta do what Obama said. And let me, stress this aspect also of my being. I give back.
Yeah, you do.
Obama said, serve. I try to serve. Girl, did you see that thing where that woman interrupted me on the red carpet?
No, I didn't. Where?
Y'all got to go to YouTube and just put, no. It's so, girl, I laughed my ass off. She said, you just type in Jenifer Lewis interrupted on the red carpet. Somebody just got all in my space. And, there was a time, girl, I would have what?
Let her
brought
have
it
it.
out. You know that. But I turned to her. First of all, she was older than me, so that made her my elder, you see. So instead of cussing her out, I just looked at her and said, "Thank you. Thank you so much." Girl, I was so proud of myself. I really was, because, I come from the street, girl. I will take you out. Do you hear me? You know what I tell people? Don't get that movie star shit twisted. I'm from the street, bitch. Don't roll up on me. But anyway, I've come to just, I don't even know how to say it. I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
I will tell you that. I am so grateful for my life. I'm so grateful I did the work. I'm so grateful that I sustained in show business. I say in my book, when I thought about quitting once, and that did just fly out of my mind. That's so funny how, look, honey, I'm going to tell y'all another thing. Enjoy your youth. Enjoy it, because age ain't no joke, honey.
What has changed about you with age?
Well, my memory's not as good as it. I'll be telling stories at these book signings. Girl, I won't know what story I'm telling. And I figured that out. One of the reasons is I'm just so happy. And I have so many stories. I've traveled all over the world. I remember this little boy in Egypt. I was, out in the Sahara Desert. Girl, I've been in so many deserts. I was just in the Gobi Desert on a 2-hump camel. Yeah, I love traveling. I really do. But this little boy, I gave him, he had taken me around to all these little shops and through the marketplace the entire day, me and my girlfriend. And then I tipped him $20 at the end of the day. This was years ago, and I didn't have a whole bunch of money. But I gave him $20. You know how the Road Runner, that little cartoon, right
Yep.
before the Road Runner.
I sure do.
Wait a minute, right before the Road Runner runs, his legs turn in a circle. And then it's like, pew! Girl, that little boy knew he could feed his family for a year with that $20. I have never seen anybody move that fast in my life. That boy had kicked up that dust behind him. He ran so fast before I could say, give me $10 change. I was giving him the whole $20.
You just changed his life.
I'll never forget that little boy who was so sweet and smiled every day. Just different experiences.
Yeah.
That will lift you when you come home, when you go out in the world and you see all that poverty. Now, I was poor as a kid, honey, but at least we had some government cheese.
Oh, man.
Yeah, your generation don't know nothing about that, girl. The government.
We're the fortunate one.
We were on welfare, running around. The government would give us some cheese and some powdered milk, some white bread and corn flakes. They would feed us.
So I got a question for you. When your career has spanned so many. Your IMDb is crazy long. What do you think is your favorite role, if you can pick one? It's like picking your kids, right? But what do you think is your favorite role that you've done so far?
Well, my favorite, I have two favorites. Jackie's Back, of course.
Yes.
The movie that I starred in. Some fool put the whole movie on YouTube. So Jackie's Back is on YouTube. And, of course, my second favorite is Velma Bullock from What's Love Got to Do with It.
Ooh, yes.
The Tina Turner film. But, yeah, because I had just fallen in love, and I had no fear in me. But, girl, life is good. Life is great. The last thing I want to say to everybody is just the number one thing is to take care of you. Take care of yourself. Self-care should be the first thing.
So what are your 3
you-
self-care tips, Jenifer? Give me 3.
Okay, let me give you 3. Journal.
Mm-hmm.
Put pen to paper and write down your feelings. Write down what you do every day. You know, are you living to the best of your potential? Because if you write it out, if you get half of that done, then you'll be happy.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell people, you can't take care of everything. And don't beat yourself up when you don't. So journal, journal, journal. That's number 1.
Yes.
Number B, I was laughing. George Wallace always said that to some damn number B. I laughed so hard. And number B, eat well.
Okay.
You are what you eat, fool. You can't put all that dead stuff in your body, and it's going to be dead in there. I ain't saying, but just in moderation. In moderation. Eat raw sometimes. Get the nutrition. Yeah, our food is all messed up, but do the best. Do your best. And eat well. That's really important.
Yeah.
And number 3, ladies and gentlemen, drink water.
Yes.
Drink water so your skin will be beautiful. Drink water, 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 water. And drink the water before you eat.
Ah.
And that's just a little something I learned. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is my truth. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a shrink. But I have lived. You only asked for 3. I'm going to give you a 4.
Hey, give me all the extras.
Stay away from negative shit.
There it is.
Just girls and boys and ladies. Stay away from it. Stop talking about people. Love somebody. Be kind to one another. We got enough shit to fight.
It's true.
Instead of fighting each other.
It's true.
Be nice. Help somebody. But help yourself first.
Yes.
You have to. When your kids run off and they done gone crazy and they on drugs and all of that, take care of yourself instead of worrying yourself to death. So when they fall, your arms will be strong to catch them.
Hey, you are embarking on your book tour starting in Baltimore on April 7th. What do you want people to look forward to when they see you?
Girl, you know I'm going to act a fool and give y'all a whole bunch of what I just gave y'all. We're going to do, what is it? It's called, These Fools Told Me to Rap from my book. Yay! So I tap, tap, tap. And all of that, I don't want nobody with me in these streets. You know, come on, girl.
Yes.
I come to slay.
Yes.
I come to slay. You ain't going to be bored sitting up there listening to Jenifer Lewis. I'm going to carry on. But I'm going to give you some stuff, too. I'm going to give you some tools.
Yes.
The tools that I learned. You know.
Oh, it's about to be a good time.
Come on out, because it's going to be fabulous.
It's going to be fabulous.
Now, let me go. I got to get in makeup and go somewhere else.
Appreciate you. Iconic.
All right, little girl. Godspeed, okay?
All
Y'all
right,
be good.
man. All right.
All right, it was my pleasure, and you're wonderful. I love your personality.
Thank you.
Okay, baby.
Bye.
Bye, baby.
Oh my gosh, shout out to the legendary Jenifer Lewis for joining me. I am so happy she blessed me with her presence. Yo, I'm geeking out, to be quite honest. Please follow Jenifer on social media. On Instagram, she's at Jenifer Lewis for real. Remember, it's 1 N in Jenifer. On Twitter, she's at Jenifer Lewis. And her Facebook page is facebook.com/Jenifer Lewis for real. And you want to make sure you grab a copy of Mother of Black Hollywood. It's so good. It is amazing. And her book tour is hit in Baltimore, Miami, Chicago, Flint. Again, follow her on social for the details in more cities. This episode makes my heart so happy. Much love to Chicago Recording Company and Sav Media for partnering with me. and subscribe to Rants and Randomness on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and now Spotify. So please be sure to rate it because that makes a difference. And if you are loving this podcast, share it all over social media, tell a friend to tell a friend, and feel free to discuss it on social using the hashtag Rants and Randomness. As always, you can follow me on social at Luvvie everywhere. That's Luvvie. See you on the next episode.